Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly Shlog. I'm Morgan. This is Highland Cycles, and this is our little weekly shop vlog, or Shlog, where we show you all kinds of cool dirt bike stuff and tips and tricks, diagnosis, mail time, cool tools, all that good stuff. If you got here because of the KTM videos with my clutch failing and the crank seals, but anyway, all that, consider sticking around. This is our weekly thing. It usually comes out on Mondays at 4, although the last one was Wednesday late. Anyway, it changes. But yeah, if you got here because of another video that you got suggested to, check this thing out. And then also just check out the rest of the channel. We do all kinds of cool stuff. Race videos, ride videos, story time videos. Anyway, a little bit of everything motorcycle related. Now, I know some of you guys already saw behind me a little bit earlier that Yamaha, yes, that is in this week's Shlog. So make sure you stick around. Here we go. All right, guys, before I show you the sweet bike over there, let me show you this bike. Mr. Sheets is working on this bike for Mr. Thomas Garrett, number 189. Keep an eye on that, guys. He is trying to earn his pro card. He's definitely not like some up-and-coming young kid who's going to be winning nationals, but he is a local guy, real fast, trying to get his pro card. He's headed to Thunder Valley this weekend to race. I forget what series it is, but he's working on that. And we are valving his suspension. We're doing some TBT love to his suspension. Yeah, dialing in the forks. And then the big thing is this shock sucks that's on here. They're terrible shocks. They're no good. So what you do is you go with a KYB, just like this, and we valve it, we set it all up, and we're good to go. Super rad. This is the one that comes on the 250, the RMZ 250. I don't know why they went with the junk one on the 450, but they did. So yeah, anyway, new shock, that's ready to rock and roll. Zach's taking care of the forks right now. Yeah, so keep an eye out. I'd love to see this guy make a national moto. It'd be really cool. Like I said, he's from around here. He's got 2 little kids and a wife. So yeah, he's a busy man, and I'm really hoping he's gonna get this thing done. First thing I got to do, guys, because I'm late to it, is get this seat cover done on this KTM, and then we'll talk about that sexiness. All right, guys, next on the lift is the beautiful 1985 RZ350. So excited. We're not doing anything crazy with it. We're going to change the oil. We're also going to fix an oil leak. And then we're doing fork seals, which is super cool. So first things first, the oil leak. So when it's on the kickstand, sitting for a while, even on a center stand, it'll have a drip of red oil. So transmission oil, because we're putting, this thing runs the Bellray gear saver, and have a drip of red training oil. So I've already taken it apart and figured it out. So there is a gear position sensor cover and O-ring that's behind here, and I'll show you what it looks like here. Let me get this off. All right, so when I first took it off, there was a lovely red drip of oil from right there, and you can see that where the bolts go are all cracked. It's not a surprise. It's a 1985. It's an old bike. It gets hot, it gets cold. So we got a new one of those, not easy to find, by the way, and then the O-ring, well, you'll see it goes behind that to seal it up. So let's get those suckers off of there. All right, actually, you know what? I'm going to drop the oil first. All right, got that drained. Now take these bolts out. All right, there you go, guys. That is a neutral switch, really, I think is what it actually is. It's a neutral indicator. It's got a wire here that bolts onto here, and there's just one little dot, and there's a nub that's probably spring-loaded, yeah, that just spins around, and when it gets to that, it tells the bike that it's in neutral, really just to run the light. And probably I don't know. I doubt this thing has a safety switch, so because it's a kickstart. So there we go. I'm gonna clean this really well. So guys, this is shaped a little bit different on the inside, not a lot. Maybe, nah, no it's not. It just looks a little different because it's not dirty. But the outside is a little bit different. It's got 4 little nubbins here instead of just 2, but I think it's going to be the right one. All right, guys, I'm going to put just a little bit of grease on this O-ring so that it slides in nicely and doesn't tear. Boom, just like that. That's fixed. Now I'm going to button all that up, put oil back in it. Then I'm going to flip this bike around so I can lift the front up and get the forks off. All right, guys, got the fork off. I already did one of them. Honestly, I did it so that I could make sure I had it all dialed before I filmed it. And it actually went great. So, chucked up here in our soft draws, we got a 19mm wrench, which goes over this thing that's not really a normal deal. Unfortunately, they are not super tight. They are under spring tension though, so I'm going to keep my hand over this. There we go. Now we're going to dump it out. This oil, by the way, is gross. I don't think it's from 1985, but probably the 90s. Now, on the last one, this was a huge pain, so we're going to set up early for this. There's an Allen down in there. We're going to get this chalked up. Quarter-inch into it because it's the 6 mil stripped out of the other one. So, but now I know what's going on, and I even heated the other one up, but not enough, I guess. So now that I know what's going on, we're going to get our blue wrench. Yeah, there we go. Blue wrench, and we're going to heat this up really good. Guys, if you're doing this, you need to get this thing super hot because there's a lot of aluminum there. That you've got to get the heat all the way through it. And what you're trying to do is basically expand the aluminum so that it lets go of the threads. Because it's a steel bolt, aluminum threads, dissimilar metals. They tend to kind of weld to each other. So, and then the other thing to do is smack it a couple times. Helps jar those threads, and then so I don't want to strip this thing because that last one was a pain. Give it another smack. Try it a little bit. Okay, not yet. Highland Cycles is Morgan. Oh, come on. Oh, I think it's stripping. Yep. Not it breaking loose, that's the bolt stripping. So we're going to hopefully drive our 1/4 inch in there. Take the extension out of the situation since we're got a better angle on it. There we go. And it came loose. That's exactly what the other one did. I couldn't get it with the 6, which I believe is the right one because it's a Japanese anyway. Aha. There we go. That's all right. It works. We're good. And it's got a circlip style that is not one that you can use a screwdriver on. So you gotta got to do it with circlip pliers. And there we go, just like anything else. We got inner bushing, outer bushing, couple washers, which is interesting. They have 2, seal and then dust seal. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff up, put all brand new stuff on it. We'll put it back together. Right on, guys. Got all new parts. Pretty happy about that. The only thing I couldn't hunt down when I was looking was the washers. Honestly, I didn't look very hard because I knew they'd probably be fine, and they are. So. New inner bushing. Then we go outer bushing on top. And we got the washers. Then the seal. Now we go together. Actually, I'm going to take this seal back off so I can just slide this over without splitting them. Not that it's hard, but... And on these circlips, what I like to do is I just squeeze them, get them past the first edge of the tube. And then use that to drive it down in until it seats. So all good. Now we're gonna make sure our copper washer is in there. It is. It's trying to kind of hop out, but then we're going to take our bolt, go through that copper washer. I probably ought to have a new copper washer, but I don't, so it's all right. And then we're going to take our damper rod, drop that back down in. Start this by hand. And then we can finish it with the impact. Now we put 253 cc's, and if you're wondering how I'm going to measure those 3 cc's, I'm not. We're just going to go a shade over 250. Of 10 weight is what they call for. Actually, the book calls for like 1030 motor oil. I'm going to go 10 weight. There we go. Now, guys, here's the little bit tricky part. It's probably the hardest part of the whole process. Is getting this in there because of the spring tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on here, and I'm going to rotate this as far over here, put pressure, and then as I'm putting pressure, rotate that. It's getting a little tight, like it's maybe cross thread, so there we go. Come back out till you feel it kind of click. then we're good. You don't need to put a lot of oomph on it. It's under quite a bit of spring tension. Now put our dust cover on, but we don't want to put it all the way on down to the thing yet because we got to fork brace it anyway. So cool. Yeah, slap this thing back on there, and then I might just take you for a little ride on this thing. All right, guys, the RZ350 is all done and ready to rock. No more oil leak. Brand new fork seals. We've got the black grips on there that he wanted. Some nice grips. And yeah, it's ready to go. So sorry I didn't film me riding it. I was going to put the 360 camera on my helmet and go ride it and get some cool shots. But it is pouring rain and has been for the last day and a half. So it's weird for Western Colorado. We are definitely a desert area, but it's dumping. So unfortunately, no riding the RZ. If it clears up before he picks it up, I will get it out and take you guys for a ride with me because it's stinking awesome. Yeah, I love that thing. Anyway, next on the lift is this 300. It's carbureted, so it must be a 17, 18, something, counterbalance carb. Anyway, we're just doing, I said the tires are leaking. It's got tubeless on it, so big surprise. Oh, you tubeless guys hate me. But, so yeah, I'm going to check and see if the high pressure bladder is leaking. If that's leaking, then we need to fix that. If it's just the outside chamber, then we can add some sealant to it and call it good. But yeah, I mean, the tires are in pretty good shape, so I don't think he wants to replace those. So, and the wheels look straight. That's the one thing about the tubeless system. Well, it's not the one thing. It's a thing about the tubeless system I don't like is that if the wheels get bent, then you really have a hard time sealing it. So, anyway, let's just check that stuff real fast and see how it's doing. All right, guys, even though this thing's been sitting, that's got 48 pounds in it, so I don't think it's the inner chamber, at least on the rear wheel. All right, guys, so I talked to this customer, and I checked the rear tube seemed to be working. The front, not so much. He had pumped a whole bunch of something into the inner. Anyway, we talked about it. We came to the decision just to put heavy-duty tubes into the bike. He doesn't really ride it that much. And when he does, he just kind of puts around. He bought it from someone who put all the race stuff on it. So he loves the bike, likes riding it, but it doesn't get ridden much. So we just put some Michelin ultra heavy duty tubes in it. That thing's going to be awesome. Now I got to change the oil and a couple little things. I did find that both sets of brake pads were junk. So got those replaced. Nothing crazy. But I want to show you what Mr. Sheets is working on over here. This is a cautionary tale. Not about Mr. Sheets. He's got lots of cautionary tales about him, but cautionary tale about the gentleman who owns this 300XC and what he was doing. So before I show you what's going on, he was doing a top end, and he's done one before. This is his second one on this bike. So it's not like his first rodeo. He's done one on other bikes, but as he was putting it on, he had an aftermarket head insert, and that did not do, the head insert didn't do anything, but these new 300s, the head insert, it goes into the cylinder. It actually goes down into the cylinder. It's not completely flat. Like if you look across the head, it's not all the way flat. There's a ring that goes down there. And it makes for a better seal and all that stuff. But if you're not careful and you get that thing off a little bit, you will do this to a cylinder, which is obviously a massive bummer. So yeah, anyway, unfortunately, he broke the water jacket, he broke the cylinder, all kinds of things. Yeah, it's no good. So he understood his mistake and had us get him a brand new cylinder and everything is all brand new now again, and Zach is putting it all back together. So if you got one of these newer TBI bikes, guys, just know that thing sits down in there, and you got to be really careful about how you set this all together. It's not like the old school. You can kind of just flap it on there and like scooted it around until the little dowel pins line up. Anyway, yeah, it takes a little bit more being careful. So, yeah, anyway, that thing will be done hopefully today, unless Zach botches it. You never know. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm going to get back after this thing, and we'll get on to the next job. All right, guys, we got the that other KTM all done, oil changed, air filter clean, the thing's ready to rock and roll. Super happy we got him to switch over to tubes because now he will have no weird problems. The tubeless system is just fine if you like to fiddle with things and mess with stuff. It's great, but like if you just want to park the thing and then get whatever, it's either foam or tubes are the way to go. Last job of the week is to work on my bike and see how much oil comes out of this engine now that we have replaced the crank seal. So I'm going to set you guys down and we're going to measure it. All right, so I've got a cup that goes to 500, which it should have more than that. So let's see if we can find something else here. All right, guys, I'm gonna put the pan underneath there just to make sure we don't lose any on the lift. Gonna put my thing here. Let's see if we can do this. I've never obviously done this before, so it's gonna be black, I'm sure, with lots of stuff in it because it's been so bad for so long. There's 5. And guys, I actually really like this bolt. This is an aftermarket magnetic drain bolt from Ben at First Track Motorsports. It's got a super heavy magnet on it, so it makes sure you get all the stuff out if anything's floating around in there. And what's on here is clutch material because there's metal in those fibers on the clutch. And so yeah, that's what's on here now, and we're going to be probably pulling some of that out of there for a while because it was shredding that clutch for quite a while. But I think we're going to be good, guys. Pretty happy with how that looks. And that we're right at, it's probably 700 came out of there, and I put 750. So, and I'm sure there's a lot more in there. Not a lot more, but probably 50 more cc's in there. That's just not coming out because it's in cavities or whatever. So I'm sure if we took the clutch cover off, it would make a mess. So, yeah, I think we're should be good with that. So I'm gonna put some oil back in this thing. I'm actually going to ride right after work. It's Saturday. Gonna go do some training out in the desert. Hammer out a couple laps on my hair scramble loop, and then yeah, hopefully go ride tomorrow too. So I hope you guys get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. I hope you get out and ride this weekend, and I desperately hope that what we're doing is inspiring you guys to work on, but more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes. There it is.